Hello, YAPATHON 2 incoming. So, I don't know. I haven't made a video in a while. I mean, I recorded one and I tried to record a couple of others. The couple of others didn't go too well. The other one I recorded I think wasn't good, but I'm probably gonna still make it into a video anyway. I don't know. I think this whole, video thing has I've gotten too in my own head about it, which, whatever, I'll get better at that. But I thought I'd just have a bit of a yapathon today because, like I said, I've been getting too in my head about making a video, etc., etc. But, I shouldn't. I'm just gonna yap, like the good old days. By the good old days, I mean a month ago when I made my first video. So I don't know. I've been thinking more negatively about being trans. I don't know if that's just because, like, I don't know. It kind of goes in waves. I mean, usually I'm very positive about it, but just recently it's been like harder to be. I just thought I'd talk through some of that because it's probably a lot of like from what I understand, a lot of the trans community, like, it's really easy to think really badly of yourself and just the whole thing. Like, it's a really big thing. It's like taking a new career direction, and you're like, oh no, is this like the right? Is this the right choice for me? Is this, you think all that. You'll know what it's like, unless you're like a child or something. In that case, probably not. It's just a big change, and you think about it a lot. Also, I'm ill. I'm like more on the end of it, but you probably hear that a bit. Like, that's the thing. I've never had the feeling of being okay. I've never felt like as if I was mentally okay, like as if I could do whatever I want. I've always been in this like down place. Like, ever since I can remember, I've been in this down place, and it just kind of changes and fluctuates. But now that I'm an adult, it's like different, is what it is, I guess. But anyway, I kind of went off on a tangent there. That's what this video is gonna be. I'm just tangenting. I'm yapping. Like, I don't give a shit. Yeah, being trans has been difficult lately. I know I've had this whole thing where I like talked to my mum because I was looking for like advice on like a haircut because I want to get a fringe, but she and the person who cuts my hair keeps saying that they don't think I can have a fringe because I have a middle part, and it's like, huh? Like, I've never really heard of that being a thing, and I've got a friend who has a middle part and then got a fringe, and it was fine. So, like, it makes me question how supportive like my mum is, because they just some of the ways she words it. Like, she said something about, like, would I want to have such a drastic change early in my transition? And it's like, what? Like, it's not your transition, dude. It's mine. It's what I'm doing. Like, I don't. It's something that would make me happier, and it's just that's just a really weird thing to say. And just like other things she said in the past, it's just makes me kind of question that. Again, it's weird because I feel like as if a lot of the things I'm gonna say they'll be like directed at family, because I know, like, mainly at my dad. I know I feel like as if he would be the most likely to watch these. Like I know he's gonna say, like, we're both like supportive of you no matter what. We love you, like, no matter what, etc., etc. And like, I know, but this is like its own thing. This is different. Like, this is all like just. Like, I'm not saying anything solid. I'm just speculating, venting, whatever. Like, if my mum has some of the thoughts that I think she has, then she loves me. Then she loves me on her own terms, rather than just how I want to be as well, which is just its own thing. So yeah, that's just kind of bothered me, and it's like, I just want to, because, like, yeah, all these people watching, they don't know what my hair looks like. um I've got like long hair. It's quite long. It's like past my nipples, I'd say. And there's a lot of it, and it's quite nice, but I've been growing that out for a while now. And maybe I'll talk about that whole thing later, or in this video. Probably in this video. It's going to be a yapathon, like I said. Yeah, so I like want to get a haircut as like another step into my transition. I've what else have I done? I told people to start using a new name, and I think I was a bit unclear with my mum on if I wanted to start using it. I don't know. At least with like my friends and I think most of my family, I've got my new name. That's quite fun. That's quite nice, because it takes a while to be ready, quote unquote, for people to call you that. But hot tip for I don't know, I want to make another video on anxiety, but a hot tip on transitioning, you're never going to feel totally comfortable or ready to make any of these steps, which is, I think, one of the reasons I'm glad I came out to my family accidentally, sort of, through one of my videos, because then I didn't need to have the whole thing. Because I was never going to feel ready. Like, that's just not going to happen. And I was never fully, like, you never have that feeling inside of fully being like, yeah, I'm ready to, you know, have people call me a whole different name. Because it feels really weird. It feels very vulnerable, and I mean, I don't know how to describe it. If you've done it, you know what it's like, I guess. But I don't know, it's big. Oh yeah, that and pronouns. I mean, I started off with pronouns right from the get-go, I'd say. Because I don't know, I guess I was more ready for that, as more... No, everything else, you're not going to be ready for that. Or you're not going to feel ready for that. At least in my experience, it's probably different for everyone. But in my experience, I didn't feel ready for that. And just take the jump, take the plunge. Just like with anxiety, the best piece of advice I ever got on anxiety, shout out my brother, is to do what makes you feel uncomfortable. Which is just, it's just great advice, because I mean, even when I was talking to my therapist recently, he was saying that anxiety, it doesn't get better when you don't like do anything about it, which is, it seems kind of obvious, but I don't know, like I see a lot of people say, oh, like, you know, I don't want to do this because it make me anxious, and it's like, what? Like, you know, sure, the first time or the first few times you'd be anxious, but each time you do that thing, you get incrementally less anxious. Like, I used to be very socially anxious. I would not like talk to people. I wouldn't be as outward as I am because I was like so anxious. But now it's like, after, well, there was a few things that kind of helped me with that. Like, I got a job where I sort of had to talk to people, and there was like a whole different environment, which is just scary. And it was doing a different thing, which was scary, and there was like responsibility on me. But I did it, and I slowly got less anxious. But then it really kind of jumped up when I got my other job, where I was kind of, because the other one was like more, I was on the phone to people. Sometimes people would come in the office, you know. I won't go into detail, but this one is more like I guess public facing, and you know, meeting a lot of new like colleagues. I don't know why I said staff members. What am I, manager? So because it's basically every shift I'd do of that, I'd meet more than one new person, and you know, like you'd be kind of with someone for the whole day, like one of those people. So you'd kind of have to be like friendly with that person for the whole thing, and like you know, trying to make like small talk and stuff throughout the shift, whatever. But you know, after doing that for like a couple of years, and I'm still sort of doing it, it really helps a lot with anxiety. So, anxiety recommendation, do that stuff. I wasn't even intending on talking about anxiety. I'm just straight yapping, dude. But you know, I guess that's what we're here for, right? Yeah, so trans stuff. Yeah, it's just been difficult because like when you're feeling better, you take care of yourself more, and so maybe you do just look better. But it's also easy to look at yourself as like, oh hey, I look pretty good today. And I actually had a few days where I was thinking, oh hey, I look pretty good today, which is pretty cool. And I haven't even started doing eyeliner or any of that stuff yet, but I have it, and I'm gonna try learn it, and I'm realizing that was something I probably wanted to do today. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, maybe I'll forget. But you know, just a couple of days I'm thinking, hey, not bad. But then recently it's, you know, as I've been taking care of myself a little bit less, which is just, you know, I go through these waves. I was feeling like, oh shit, I don't look good. Look at this. And just looking at like the things I don't like, which of course is stupid. It's a bad idea. Don't do that. If you catch yourself doing that, just go, nah. You know, I mean, if it's something that you can change, like, oh, I should do this with my hair instead, or I should just something that you can change, not with surgery, like something like cutting your hair or wearing different clothes, or you know, something like that. It's fine to think negatively about things you can change, because then you can change it and then you're like, woohoo! So, you know, do that, I guess. But yeah, I've been thinking about that a bit more negatively, but also it's like, okay, this is gonna sound really weird when I say it, so hear me out. Sometimes I will just see a woman who I think like their outfit's really cool, or I think they look really pretty, and then I just think like, fuck, I don't look like that. And it's like a real, I don't know, like in the moment, it's like shit, and that's kind of like the extent of it. But then you might think about it later, and you're like, fuck, I could do that if I was a woman. It's really difficult. I don't want anyone to say like, no, no, you are pretty, you are this or whatever. Like just I appreciate those words. It is really nice when people say that, but I have to see it from my perspective as well, and that will take work because that's what transition is. It's a lot of work and improvement, but it's really difficult, especially like early transition. I mean, you can wear whatever you want, do whatever you want, and that's awesome, but it's also kind of having the confidence to do that. And it's like maybe after a while of transitioning, estrogen and getting used to stuff, I'll be able to do that. But it feels like as if I'm not able to do that right now. And you just look at these people like who've probably been looking as cool as they do for like ages, and you're there like, I've been putting that off almost. It's really difficult. Like even if it's just like an outfit or something, and you think if I wore that, it'd probably look a bit masculine, maybe. Or like if I had that hair, etc., etc. And it's just this video mainly goes out to my trans homies, and of course my friends. Big up, by the way. I've been trying to see if I can slip this into a video. Big up Sophie. She is I think she termed it like this herself, my girl guide, my guide through girlhood, girlage. Yeah, big up Sophie. She's the standard for what friends should be like for trans people who need help with that stuff. It's quite hard to describe with words how much having someone like that helps. So if you don't have a Sophie in your life, get a Sophie in your life because it makes it. I know that's like way easier said than done. You can't just go out and be like, I'm looking for friends. I'm looking for friends. Like good friends are good. Well, more than good, but so a lot of the time you just wish you started estrogen earlier, or like maybe it'll be like small things. Like you look at your hair or something, and you'd be like, oh shit, that's like there's been like like I've lost a little tiny bit of that. If I had started estrogen then when I started having trans thoughts, that would be better. Or like, oh, I've got a little bit more body hair now than I did before. If I'd started estrogen then I probably wouldn't have this as much. And I guess I think that a lot because, I mean, of course, it's like everyone, of course, thinks that. Everyone thinks, oh, like, why didn't I just start it randomly? But the thing is, I like started thinking like this when I was like 17 or something, 18, around there. And I just didn't do anything about it. I just kind of, I guess, put it on hold because it was like difficult to think about. But it's really hard to think if I had just confronted those thoughts earlier, then I'd already be so deep in my transition, it would be crazy. And that's a really difficult thought to have. Because it's like I know that if I just thought about it a bit more, I'd be further along in it, and it'd be awesome. It would have been really awkward, but it would have been good, you know? So that's difficult. And I don't know how many trans people can relate to that. Because I kind of, I usually see like a lot of people, like a lot of trans videos I watch. I watch a fair few. I mean, in one of my videos I recommended quite a few trans people, but trans YouTubers. But I feel like as if the kind of usual, I feel like as if the usual kind of how someone found out they were trans was like they thought about it or saw something, and then they like immediately confronted those thoughts, and like after a bit they're like, yep, that's what I am. But not so much with me. You know what, screw it, I'm going to talk about it in this video. Oh, this video's going to be longer than I thought. Oopsie. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if I have much else to really talk about. Being trans is difficult. I do love being trans. Like in my positive moments, I'm just happy to be a part of this. Like I look at my trans flag, I go, hell yeah. I think of myself in a more positive, feminine way, and I think, hell yeah, dude. And it's all awesome. But also another thing, I don't fuck with gender norms. Gender norms are so fucking boring. Like, just, like, get out of that, I mean, it's like, it's good I feel like for trans people, because it's like, especially like at least how I see it, like during the early period, it's like it's easy to do those gender normal things because it helps you present more feminine, and it's like, you know, it'll be easier for someone to look at you and go, you're a woman, and you'd go, yeah, and they'd go, okay, and then you'd go on with your day. But if you do something like non-gender conforming, then it can be more difficult to pass as a woman, which is, you know, stupid. I don't know, this is just my perspective from, you know, being, how far am I into estrogen? Like a month into estrogen. I've been ramping up my dosage, so I haven't like had the full dose yet, but I've been ramping it up. You know, it's just my view as of right now. It's good to just yap about it. Like I realized yesterday, oh, it's been like a slow realization that I've been thinking way too much about making a video, or like what I'd make it. Like I've got this like text document with lots of ideas, and I do want to do them, but I don't know. I think I realized I just need to kind of yap and just talk about all this stuff, because, you know, like the original reason why I made my first video, it was for me. It was like, you know, I wanted to make that. I'd been wanting to make it for quite a while, so the thoughts on it had been like building up slowly. And then like the next two videos were like a bit more like, oh yeah, I'll make these like, because I guess there's people watching now, rather than, because like, I made that video fully in mind thinking 2 to 5 maybe people are gonna see it, and that'll be it. And it was like that for like the first day or two, but then like more people started watching. I was like, oh, what the hell, which is really awesome. Yeah, I do really appreciate all the views and stuff. Like, I don't know, like it's hard to think why I do. I just kind of do. Like, it's nice that people watch it and go, yeah, me too. Like, it's just kind of easy that way. So if you're in a similar position, maybe you should do the same thing. I mean, I edit my videos at least a bit. I cut out the dead space in it, and you know, that's easy to do. I use DaVinci Resolve. You can watch some little tutorial on it to do the basics, and you know, it makes it watchable. You know, at least I hope so. So, you know, maybe do that yourself. Like, there's a lot of good trans YouTubers and stuff. Maybe you could be one of them. Maybe I could be one of them. Actually, no, this isn't bad for business. Don't do that. You'll be a competitor. No, that was of course a joke. One of my classic little jests, my little transgender jests. Anyway, I don't really think I have much else to say. So, as usual, be silly, do whatever you want, and do what makes you feel uncomfortable, because that's how you grow as a person. Otherwise, you'll stagnate and not do much. Like, don't wait to feel better about something, because you're not just gonna feel better about something by chance. As scary as it is, you're responsible for your own life and what happens. And that can be a good thing. And it is. Even though it's difficult, it's a good thing. So get out there and be silly. Hey.